Hello, Projector Movement family. It is so good to be back here with you. It's been some time that we've been able to really just sit down here with Lisa Jacobson, who I'm honored to have with me today. Many of you know Charlie and I have been transitioning out to Joshua Tree and two projectors moving. It is, I think anyone moving can relate to the enormity of it, but when you have two projectors, yeah, it takes a bit more oomph, I think. So, with that being said, thank you for your patience and understanding the gap in time that we've needed to get things back up and running in the pace and respecting the rhythm of what we truly could hold in this transition. But happy to say that we are here and excited to be here today discussing with you in the month of February, which some could call it, the hallmark fake, fake kind of day to celebrate love, but really, in the essence of self-love, a day that could be celebrated every day. We are here to talk about how one of the greatest things that we as projectors can do to really love ourselves is to understand the depths and the details of our human design charts, to really, really understand who we are inside and out. Um,
Sarah,
Lisa,
I'm also reminded that March 1st,
yes.
Venus retrograde. So
Oh,
this is
wow.
February is the love month, but in March with Venus in retrograde, we really do get to look at how
Hey,
that's presented for us,
beautiful.
and too, and maybe unlearning things or relearning things, reassessing our self-love.
Beautiful. So we got Venus in here. We've got Valentine's Day that was just here for those who celebrate. And ultimately, the path of deconditioning as a projector is ultimately wrapped up in how do we learn to love ourselves in a world that taught us how to not be ourselves, which could create a real dissonance in taking care of ourselves and fitting into molds and roles and places that really would create a lot of inner judgment and shame and sickness and
At the
all of
extreme
that.
of being repulsed by ourselves.
Totally, totally. A lot of messages of rejection. And so, with that being said, we are going to take just a few moments to ground ourselves here as we always do, practicing what we preach as we all are on this deconditioning journey together, whether you're just starting or been riding this train for a while. It's always a good time to just take a moment, close our eyes, and allow ourselves the sacred time just to land into our bodies, whether that be through your breath, letting energy go through some longer exhalations, whether that be through swaying or even shaking your arms, your wrists, your legs. If you feel like you have excessive energy that you need to release, just shaking or brushing strokes from your arms or your legs. Just we absorb so much throughout life, taking this moment to just allow yourself to reset. And maybe you can take this moment to stretch, just stretch out with our expansive auras, just allowing yourself to take up space by stretching your arms up over your head or your legs, allowing yourself to just expand, reach. And when you're ready, coming back for just a few more deep breaths, filling yourself up with one word that feels that it would give you a sense of peace or joy or love, sprinkling that into your being at this time as you take one last deep breath in. And as you exhale, keeping that deep within your heart, within your body, as you open your eyes and come back into the space. Never a time that that's not an epic thing to do.
Hmm. Exactly.
Never
Take pause.
take the pause. Take the pause. I'm just
Yeah.
looking in my computer. I'm noticing that I didn't do that, and I want to make sure. Here we go.
Mhm.
Yes. Take
Yes.
the pause.
Yeah.
Take the stretch.
Right.
Take the
Well,
breath.
that pause and stretch is when our agency can come into, like, it's a relief, but that's when we can choose choose how to be, possibly. And maybe it's just a vibrational thing or the expansion thing, and it doesn't mean we're any less sad or any less anxious, but maybe it's just not as heavy because it's more spacious.
Yeah. Okay, well, here we are. And yeah, for those of you who obviously were here because human design brought us together, and we all know that we're projectors, but some of the fascinating things that I find about being a projector is that we all come in that family, but think of it like the projector is like, I'm going to use two analogies because you're either, many people are dog people or cat people, right? So there's so many different breeds underneath the one umbrella, and really understanding, some of the main basic fundamental things about you is so important in understanding how you are here to operate and be in life. And I know, Lisa, you've taken the Living Your Design course, which was created by Ra, the creator, the one who received the most sophisticated, brilliant system that human design is. And he he speaks a lot about that, learning that everyone at one point in their life, all of humanity, not just projectors, should take this course, and to take the course taught by someone that is your type. And so I'm curious, because this was something that you've done, what would you say is you've taken away from it and how it's really, really helped you?
Well, as a whole, it just helped me learn what being a projector was, learn that I can trust my instincts as a splenic projector because I've made a lot of very quick, big decisions in my life that worked out, but that people questioned me making them so quickly. So things like that, just really owning that I can make quick decisions and I can trust that.
Mm,
Huge for me instead of thinking that I'm not thinking about things thoroughly or logically or, all the way through was really big.
mm,
And also learning about which energy centers were open, where I
mm,
was taking in things, and then where I could trust my own, views, where I was taking in wisdom, and then when I could trust my own voice was really huge for me
mm,
too.
mhm. Yeah, so I'm the same. I'm splenic as well, and one can be looked at as, you're so impulsive, right? And if you're an emotional projector, that would be more of an accurate, descriptor, where if you're splenic, you really want to hone that in. And
Absolutely.
there's various, the 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 details of the chart once you understand certain qualities, environments, what areas allow you to be the most authentic expression of yourself. And that doesn't mean that if you're someone who's a mountain person, right? There's different, mountain valleys, markets. You have to go up and move, but you can create an environment in your home or be somewhere that energetically helps feed you being a projector. And as we say, projectors, we're here. We really did get robbed of an education. We got robbed of basic human, like child level functionality skill sets. Like I always use the comparison of being taught to brush your teeth and wash your hair. We got robbed of the basic functioning skills of what we need to do to take care of our open sacral. It comes with such a care package, like brushing your teeth and washing your hair, and understanding what your specifics are when you can understand that part of your chart really is a game changer for how you'll be able to be the best version of yourself as a projector, as a guide, which we're all moving towards in 2027.
And
Um,
accept those parts of yourself more that you thought was wrong or, wasn't working because you were doing it wrong. It's like, oh, well, that makes sense for me to
totally,
do that. And taking the shame and judgment out was
totally.
freeing.
Even things I find fascinating too, like there's differentiation, which, um, how are you supposed to release things like stress? Some projectors are designed to release stress through their emotions. Some could be through verbal, some can be through movement, so what is the most effective way? Someone could be, writing it all down, but in reality, your best way is to just get out and go on a run. Or you could be running and running and running, but in reality, you need to be feeling and getting out those emotions, so it's like things that you are have the best intentions, not to say that
Yep.
those practices don't work, but really understanding how to work with this exquisite, machine, or, this vehicle we have that's our body, and knowing these little adjustments. We talk a lot about this as projectors. The micro adjustments make a macro difference, just like what we did at the beginning of the podcast, right? Just taking a micro moment to just settle or just release energy or to stretch shifts hugely more than any other type. If you learn that, wow, a way that I release stress is actually through physical exertion, it's not that you need to go to the gym for hours and hours and hours. It can be, I just run up the hill for 5 minutes or go on a 10-minute walk. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
that you
not
have to,
thing to achieve. It's
right,
so it's not, we're not doing these things to achieve anything or to
right,
even be better at anything. I mean,
right.
hopefully it makes us feel better and more expansive and all of that. Be better at feeling. That's what it is. It helps us be better at feeling. It
Yes,
doesn't always make us feel better, but it's not for achieving anything. It's
right,
not for these reasons that we might used to do things.
right, right.
And that
There's,
subtle huge.
yep, yeah. I feel that the energetics of where we're moving as a collective, well, right now, the energetics feel just completely, split between chaotic and exponential shadow work, ego death, and a lot of growth, and just back and forth. And every hour can be like, amazing. What the hell just happened? I'm down here. No, I'm up here. And it's just this, it's a birth process, it's a death process, it's, fear, hope, all happening so fast. And projectors, we're here right now, from my perspective, to be selfish. We're here to actually learn about our unique self, not out there fixing the world right now. And I've said this, many times, and it's, I'm not taking credibility of this, but we've tried to fix everything for so long and it's not working. It's we haven't we haven't really accomplished much if you look around because we haven't learned ourselves yet and how we are supposed to be the guides of the future. And it's not through fixing. It's not through teaching in the way that we are teaching people. It's different. And by learning who you are as a projector, by learning the way that we're here to operate, again, connecting it back through self-love first. We have to make ourselves the priority, which is totally backwards than the way that life taught us to be. We've been taught and conditioned to, number one, for our own safety, we've gone outward to make everyone else feel better so that we could feel safe. It's the only strategy we had.
Mhm.
So our way of loving has been sacrifice self, make everyone else feel better. So flipping that sounds really cool. Oh, cool. It's all about me. The practicality of it is the scariest thing in the world.
Scariest thing in the world. Right.
I have avoided myself. I feel alone. I feel I don't think I can do it. I have to face the scared little child who has felt abandoned, lost, don't know what to do with these big emotions. Um, but that paradigm shift of going, I'm taking charge of myself. I'm learning about myself. I am the person I've been looking for. This is the love of the future. This is the love of the now. This is what we're here to guide and model.
That's because it's the only thing that's sustainable. It's just the only way we won't get drained. And I think we get drained so easily as projectors. But I don't think that right now in our cultures, generators and manifesting generators aren't being drained either. So it's almost like we have to do something to show everybody how to do it. But we feel that we're so sensitive to that, to the resentment when we've crossed our boundaries, to not being seen and validated in the correct ways for us. Those things that we do, we're so sensitive to it, but it's something that everybody has to learn to have a sustainable life and flow and moving into that interdependence rather than codependence with anything.
I love what you just said. Yeah, the codependence and the interdependence. And you're absolutely right. The whole world is flipped. The whole world is why we're at where we're at is we've been focused externally to meet our needs. We're focused externally to feel accomplished, achieved, to reach for better than power, everything external. And then projectors, we came in this world with an open sacral, no emotional regulation skills, and just were thrown into this mess to find safety outside. And then we're praised for, you're such an amazing helper, friend. I don't know how to find safety. Our whole world is grade F, 0 out of 1 million out of emotion. So no one's can be with our emotions. We don't know what we're doing. And so now here we are, 2025, the world's falling apart. They're not as insightful and can pick up on the patterns of where we're headed. Therefore, the U-turn is not so much us having to, the doing is we have to be. That's how we're going to guide. We're going to be love.
Yes,
We're going to be individuated and
yes,
be the parent,
right.
be the calming, soothing voice to the little one that's scared, the calming voice to the angry teenager that didn't get their needs met. That's the rebelling one. But that those two aren't the ones speaking and making the choices, that there is a wise adult that we are accessing, that we are grooming, that is sovereign and doesn't need the external cheap grab or the external success in the way that has been defined by the culture that's addictive, that's not sustainable, that's just more and more and more and more. And our aura, which is what, you know, living your design, this core, these, you know, when you learn more about your design, the intricacy of it, you recognize that the projector essence is transmitted through our aura. So self-love, all that we're talking about is what we are here to be, which is why we have to shut the world out right now. Shut it out. It is your their biz. You are not to be. You mean I'm preaching here, not telling you what to do, but the truth of the matter is, if we are here to be the guides, we've got to guide ourselves back home first because we
Yeah.
carry the blueprint
Yeah.
for humanity, for we are moving into the cross of individuation. We're moving away from codependency, from external success, from things, from all that is being flashed in front of our faces. We're
Fluff.
moving,
Yeah.
yes,
And we take that in as sensitive. We take in the fluff, you
mhm,
know, it feels good.
for a moment, and then we need it again.
Yep, 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 yep.
Yeah,
We're taking too much, for
yeah,
sure. Hmm.
yeah. So the path that we invite you on, especially as projectors, that to learn how to properly love yourself is a gift that will keep on giving because, even Ra, the creator of human design, was like, I can't tell you who you projectors are. I'm sorry. Like, y'all are here to figure that out yourself. You are so different. And we are Projector Movement. We offer once a year this course. Um, for we can't say this for fact, but from what we know, we're the only training. It's a certified training that is for projectors only to participate in, and it's taught by our projector wizard, Rebecca, who is a mental projector. And what's special about that is the mental projectors are here to teach projectors. So the setup is incredibly just perfect for people who are really wanting to learn who they are, to bring that out in the world. It is such a sacred container because you are really with people who understand your journey. There are no sacrals in the room, and that in and of itself is something to be experienced. And I love that you brought in that Venus is going retrograde. So there is this theme of love, of feminine essence, which is the essence that projectors are here to be in connection to greater. It's an energy that runs through our body because it's a softer energy. We don't have a sacral. So that masculine initiating energy, we don't have it. It doesn't mean that we don't have the same, we have both in us, but our design is more receptive, more slow, connected to nature. So I love that. What was that?
Being overdoing, being overdoing.
Doing. That's what we're bringing back into balance on the planet, connecting back to nature, all of the things that have gone out of balance, the essence of bringing back the waters. We've been in the fire energy, and the fire and the water are supposed to be in balance.
Oh,
And
and what you said just reminded me, like bringing back the trust in nature, that nature knows what she's doing. If our minds kind of get out of the way, nature knows.
and
And even
guess what?
with nature. Yeah.
Yeah, from the studies I've done with the indigenous cultures, they have a medicine wheel that's broken into four elements, and the fire element and the water element are above and below, and they also are represented. The triangle facing upward is the fire element, and the triangle facing downward is the water element. And the element that is out of balance right now on the planet, that is connected to the mind, is fire. We are at misuse, and look at the fires around the world, look at war, look at all of the energy on the planet right now, the
Mhm.
mind, the ego. This is fire. And
Yes.
without trying to assign any gender role, this patriarchal world that we're in is the mind. And women are a part of that. I don't want to just, this isn't a, this, we are also out of balance in the masculine energy. We are in the mind too much. And projectors, I will throw us in there because we have run scared of our sensitive bodies. We have run up into the mind. We are out of balance in the fire element as well. And so calling in our essence is calling in the waters, soothing um, this that loving energy, that the essence of what you're saying, Venus going retrograde, the feminine coming back. And that starts from within. The only way we are guides is if we are authentic from within. We cannot teach from the mind. Our aura will screech if it's coming from the mind. So, yeah, we really hope that you, if this is something that you're wanting to walk towards and give yourself that gift of self-discovery, self-understanding, the personalized manuscript of you that wasn't available when you were young, whatever age, it's available now.
Well, but even though we're all projectors and all non-sacral, well, as you know, living with Charlie, I have a projector son. We're so different. So for me and my son, learning our different profiles, learning where had different open centers was so important because even though we were projectors, he was totally different than me.
Totally.
So just
Totally.
myself did not mean I knew him. And his chart was so helpful because he was young and not able to
Totally.
necessarily know himself yet or have the awareness, self-reflective capacity.
It's a great point. Charlie and I have similar. He is a closed cave and I'm a wide valley. I can sit and talk for a long time. You know, his capacity, he loves talking, but then he needs his dark room retreat. You know, he's a 3-5. He can need no instruction and just boom and go. And I'm like, I need to research. I need to know. I mean, there's so, you know, which makes it beautiful. So knowing that.
I mean, you know, neither one of y'all are doing it wrong. You know,
No,
oh, you're
that's
doing it
what's
right.
amazing. You're doing you. And we are moving into in 2027 individuality. So if this is an invitation that feels aligned and feels like you are ready to give yourself that this medicine of learning you and love and moving yourself in preparation to when projectors will be more recognized and you can align yourself within, not for other people, actually just for you. There will be information on the Projector Movement website. There'll be a link below in the podcast. The training begins on February 25th and all calls will be recorded. So if you can't make it, you can have access to the calls. So we hope you join. It is truly a gift that, like I said, keeps on giving. So we hope you give that to yourself.
Yeah. Remember who you are.
Yeah, because you are here to be a beacon of truth and light and a connection back home for all of humanity. But first, the reconnection starts within yourself. All right. Take care. Be
Much
well. Blessings. Much love. Bye, everyone.